don't even have to go the rest of that process.
Yeah, and they didn't give me that option. So that would have been
Yeah.
awesome too. And the crazy part about this person is hearing impaired, so I would have probably gone through this process anyway. I
Right.
had talked to this guy a couple times so I can understand him, but I could it probably would have been some type of disconnect over the phone. So you guys heard it from, the OG here too. So if you have that process, pick up the phone, three-way call, and I can tell you, and I told Chance is gonna start shaking her head when I say this. Ernest doesn't know any better because it's the only insurance company he's ever been at. Lincoln makes this process so simple. It's so simple compared to other companies, you guys. I'm telling you. So it allows you to help keep your clients on the books as well. And it's great to have a client pick up the phone and say, "Hey, my card went down, Corey. You said you'd take care of me. Every other time I've called, you did. Can we?" And he literally gave me all of his information, all of his card information over the phone because he trusts me. So just wanted to run over that. That literally just happened, and I'm going to call in before I get together with Chance this morning and make sure their payment stuff gets fixed. All right. Thanks, Barb. Appreciate that. So back to my original point. You have administrative tasks, jump on them. If you hear from Sherry, Sherry is a good one. Sherry's a good person. Sherry's trying to help you. She's trying to help you keep business on the books, right? When you get those emails, check them. I get them too. All right. Awesome. All right. $8,000. You have a couple of you guys that are well on pace. Obviously, Ben is over 11 or 12,000 already for the month, so he's already eclipsed his newsletter. A couple of our teammates are really close to there. We're just past that midway part of the month, so let's push hard. I know you probably think it won't mean anything to you, but it's great to see your name in lights. Not only will you make more money, you're helping more people, but it's awesome to be recognized among some of the best producers in the country. Friday, September 5th, just coming up here in a few short weeks, we'll have our next team breakfast at 9 a.m. at Chick-fil-A. Breakfast on me and the Chick-fil-A logo here, but looking forward to seeing everyone there that can attend. Our boot camp will be this Friday. Come one, come all. We had six people attended last time, so I'd like to have a much bigger group. We have a lot of fun at those. We learn a lot. We go back through some of the things to get you guys back to the basics. And the reason we do these monthly is not just the training, but it's to get everybody together. We know it can get lonely out there in the field, and maybe you're not having the day you want to have, but things work out. And iron sharpens iron, and that's why we'll have them, and we'll continue to have these every single month. As the regional ones continue to come up, I know Bentonville, I talked to a couple of you guys. Bentonville's was a kind of a hike. I had some things I was doing out of town, so it just didn't work out. But the next one, whether it's Bentonville or Kentucky or whatever the case is, I plan to attend. As soon as Justin gets the next one out for the regional, I want to go, of course, just to be around some of our other teammates and learn some things, but also some things I can bring back to the team as well. Hope everyone can attend, and as soon as Justin drops the date, I'll let you guys know. But ours is coming up this Friday from 9 to noon. Looking forward to seeing everyone there. In reference to our numbers so far for the week, on the left-hand side was activity
Corey,
yesterday.
Corey, can I
Yes,
say something really quick? You
sure
know,
can.
good morning, everyone. The boot camps are really great to go to, especially if they're within reason. You know, sometimes those 6 or 7 hour drives can be a pretty big hike, like Corey was saying. But you know, I just want to share with this. Most groups aren't having a lot of meetings. They're not having a lot of trainings and things like this. So you guys are definitely getting a lot. This is your weekly calls. You have your morning calls right here. The presentation that Corey's putting together. The reason these boot camps were started because there were so many people who weren't doing anything. So just know that the same things you would get at boot camp, you're getting on a weekly, on a daily basis. So please make sure you absorb it because this is some great information you're receiving every week. Go ahead, Corey.
No problem. Thanks, Ernest. I appreciate you saying that for sure. Yeah, this whole thing is put together for you guys. Trust me, because it takes me about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half to put this together. But I know just through my education and being certified in training, people learn in short snippets. That's how we're programmed now with social media and things that you guys see. It keeps your attention, right? So there's nothing crazy about that, just psychology. So yesterday, awesome job, Barb and Jeff and Justin. Justin, I think that's one of your higher days. And I know when you and I talked, you said your goal yesterday was to get up and get after it and try to see as many people as you can. 16 people, 16 stops in a day is pretty good. Just so you guys know, 20 is what you should be shooting for unless you're getting in and making some things happen. And so, Barb, I wanted to tell you, being at the top of the stack again yesterday, it's awesome to see somebody's name other than Ben. Ben's at an appointment with his wife this morning, you guys. So I know some of you guys are probably going, where the hell's Ben at? That's where he's at. He said he's going to try to jump on, even though he's on an appointment, which that's just what Ben does, right? So congratulations to our top three. My hats off to you, Justin, and obviously Jeff, Barb. You just keep doing what you're doing. And then for the week, again, let's go with our top three. We've got, and nice job, Katie, being at the 16, Justin at 16 for the week so far, with a couple of days, right on pace to be where you need to be. But Ben's at 25, Jeff's at 37, and Barb's at 50 so far for the week. So, guys, you all know, or maybe you do or you don't, with all the activities. I mean, I think I had 7 interviews just set up yesterday. I still try to get out in the field and all that kind of stuff. I made 5 stops and made a sale. So your skill level will get better. I would obviously write more if I had the time to be in the field, but that's my goal. So try to spend a day and a half by myself in the field to keep writing. As we have new people come on board, I need to keep my skills sharpened as well, right? But I know I'm scheduled to be out in the field with some of you all. If you guys want me to go out into the field with you, reach out. Just as Barb mentioned, I think it was either earlier this week or late last week, I will be trying to reach out to you guys more on a personal basis. Not to be a bugaboo to ask you what you're doing, but just try to reach out because you guys are asking for that. All right, good stuff. All right, in reference to our string, way to go there, Miss Bryant, with 2 days in a row and helping families. Nicely done there. And Ben is also on a 2-day app string. And then in reference to the weeks, Barb's on a 3-week app string, so way to go, Barb. Michelle's on a 4-week app string, approaching her longest, I think is either 5 or 6 weeks, Michelle, so way to go there. And then Ben is at an absolutely amazing 27 weeks in a row that he's protected at least one family. So congratulations to everybody that is on a string. It starts with 1, guys. It starts with 1. It'll continue to push you through. In reference to where we sit at just past mid-month, we got Miss Zilka at 300, myself at 462. We got Miss Mary Kretz at 465, Justin at 861, Michelle Bryan at 1894, issue to crack our top 5, Katie A at 2180, which was assisted by Barb. And then we have Mr. Jeff Allen at 2238 coming in our number 3 spot. Barb had more business issue yesterday. Great job, Barb, at $4,267. Barb, I think this is your month for the newsletter, and I know you're pushing. So I'm going to be the first one to congratulate you early. And then Ben holding up the fort again, $12,651 of issue paid business. That brings our total to 25,321 and just past mid-mark. So we're just slightly off pace, but we are on pace, believe it or not, to go after that 50K. And with Chance getting ready to hit the field, some of you guys starting to figure this thing out, I think 50K will be a foregone conclusion. And you guys don't know this. Let me make sure he's not on before I say this. He is not. Good morning, Ernie. Thank you for hopping on. You guys see this thing right here?
Good morning.
Good morning. Ben doesn't know this, but this is the new Agent of the Month trophy. And if I could grab, it's on the other side of my office. Otherwise, I'd grab it and show it to you. So this is the new Agent of the Month trophy. And I put this on here. I knew nobody would pick that up, right? But it just came in yesterday, the one for June. So I'm looking forward to giving that out to Ben, and he's not on here. So he'll be surprised when he sees it. But anyway, that's what we do here. So congratulations, you guys, for being right at 25K, over 25K, and on pace, slightly behind pace to hit that 50K for the month. We'll make it happen. In reference to Agent of the Month, we will, I'm just going to go the top 5 for time's sake so we can get into our training. Obviously, you guys know you receive points for attending the meetings and those kinds of things, and obviously participating and your activity. So right now, number 5 with 84 points is Katie A. Great job, Katie, with 84 points. Mary Kretz with 93 points. Jeff Allen in the 3rd spot at 156 points. So this is not only your sales, but this is your rep card activity. Banging on doors, going out and talking to people creates activity, creates sales, creates protecting families, right? And then we got Miss Barb again at 193 points, just behind Ben, and Ben sitting at 225 points so far for the month. So this encompasses your actual door knocks that you reported on rep card, but also your activity of attending meetings, making sales, and then adding accidental death and dismemberment to that as well. So I'll continue to post that on GroupMe so you guys understand how the point system works as well. All right, and so far for the week, for the first 2 days of the week, we got Miss Michelle Bryant protecting a family at 613 with 8 units of AD&D, and then Mr. Ben Stratton, 1573 to get us started on Monday. 2 families protected, 5 units of AD&D, bringing our total to 2186. 3 families protected, 13 units of AD&D for Monday. And then we came back Tuesday with basically the same day, but more activity. Myself at 314. I only made 5 door knocks, you guys, and I still was able to protect a family. But $314, 5 units of AD&D. Barb at 440 with 5 units of AD&D. Michelle with her 2-day app string, $483. One family protected with 8 units of AD&D. And then Ben with 927, 2 families protected with 6 units of AD&D, bringing our total yesterday 2164, 5 families protected with 24 units of AD&D. To wrap so far for the week, the first couple days, total for the week so far submitted $4,087. 7 families protected, 37 units of AD&D. Again, myself at 314, Barb 440, Michelle at 1,096 for the week so far, and then Ben sitting just over 2,100 so far for the week. All right. Again, ask for referrals. So 91% of customers said they would give a referral, but only 11% of salespeople ask for them. So you'll get what you ask for, right? So I'm going to show you guys a little trick here in just a minute and ask you guys what you guys are doing to ask for referrals once you get to that point. All right. Anybody have any questions? All right, cool. So I created this tic-tac-toe deal probably 15 years ago. And I'll explain to you guys how it works. I've been teasing this forever. Don't talk about it probably near as much as it
Mr.
needs.
Corey,
Yes.
sorry, quick question.
No, go ahead.
What about like asking for referrals even if you like
Yes.
necessarily don't get the
Yes.
sale? Because like I got into a home yesterday and like the lady thought it was something else, and I was like, no, ma'am, this is final expense. And she thought it was something with like the government. I don't know. But I did ask her for like if like for like any referrals or something like that. Would you still recommend to ask
Yep.
even if you like
Yes.
necessarily,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You will get referrals if you ask from people that didn't buy. Maybe they
Okay.
have a family member that needs it or whatever the case is. Glad you brought that up. Yes, please ask for referrals. Even if you do the whole presentation and they know what it is,
Yeah.
and they say, I
Yeah.
didn't think about it or whatever the case is, it's just a simple question. Hey, by the way, do you know anyone else that might need this protection if something happens to them? Family member, friends, people you go to church with, people you go to gym with, cousin, sister, uncle, mom, dad, whoever. You get what you ask for, right? And if you ask enough, people
Yeah.
start to give them to you. It's awesome, Tommy. Yes, please ask. Ask for referrals. All right, so here's how this works, okay? You do not have to do what I'm about to tell you to do from a money standpoint, right? Keep yourself out of trouble. You cannot, I'm going to be very, very loud when I say this. You can't entice someone to sell or to buy something, okay? It's called rebating, right? You can't go, buy this policy and I'm going to give you a $25 gift card. You can't do that. That's against the insurance rules. But here's what you can do. At the end of the process, once everything's done, whether they've bought or they didn't, here's how I use this, and this is very effective, and it does work if you use it. So if you just say you want to give a $5 gift card, okay? Here's how I've done it. You guys can put your own spin on it. So how many of you guys have ever played tic-tac-toe before? I'm sure everybody's going to raise their hand. Here's how this works. There's a way to rig tic-tac-toe if you guys didn't know it, and especially if you got a bonus here in the middle of the screen. So I always start here in the corner, okay? If you can get them to write the information down, it's even more effective, okay? But what I do is say, hey, Barb, I'm just going to use you as my customer. So, Barb, first of all, thank you for allowing me to protect your family today. I'm glad you guys were able to qualify and were to make sure that you and Chris and your kids are protected. So thank you for that today. By the way, can you help me with something?
Sure.
They always say that. They always say sure because they trust you now. They gave you your social, you're in their home, you got their banking information. They trust you, or you wouldn't be there, right? So I asked Barb for help and she said sure. But Barb, my job is to make sure that people in our communities are taken care of, obviously, and I was able to help you guys today. So here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I need a favor for. As many as you can help me with would be great. Even if it's just a few, that'd be awesome. So what we do here at our organizations, we do tic-tac-toe because everybody likes to play games, right? So is there anybody that you could think of that might need this service as well? And I know a lot of people go, Barb, before you tell me no, it's intrusive, or, I don't want to sick a salesperson on my family. But here's the deal. We all have been in those situations, like you told me earlier today, where the reason why you filled out that form is because you had a cousin pass away and that cousin didn't have anything in place. And that's why you guys put this in place today. Isn't that correct? So my job
Yeah.
is to make sure that doesn't happen to some of your other family members. So here's what we do. Here's the fun part of this, Barb. So you help me, I'm going to help you out a little bit too. I'm going to give you a $10 gift card, right? for every person that I sit down with that you provide me with. Okay? So if it's 5, you fill up a sheet or a couple sheets, great. Who's the first person that you could think of that you want to make sure is protected so that when something happens, they weren't in the same situation that your cousin was? And I'm going to grab my pen and I'm going to look down at this sheet just like you do when you guys are trained when you're asking for money. And I'm going to wait for the first name and I'm going to put that first name right here. Okay? So I'm going to wait for Barb to give me a name. And Barb, I know you're probably like me. I have a lot of numbers memorized, but probably better if I pull them out of my phone. Could you grab your phone for me real quick? Barb's going to grab her phone and then she's going to give me the first name. So Barb, just make one up. I'm literally going to write this right in front of them, or give them the pen and have them start writing. Now I'll tell you, it's been much more effective for me if I write it, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. So Barb, just give me a name.
Probably my sister, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Elizabeth live local here?
No, she's in California.
Okay. Anybody local that you can think of that might need the same protection?
I guess Mary.
Mary? Okay, awesome. And that Mary lives in the area, right? Somewhere
Yeah.
remotely close. Okay, super. And then can you provide me with Mary's phone number, please?
Sure.
555-5555. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's $10. Now, by the way, Barb, where would you like to go next on the board? Because the bonus gets you an extra $10. So where would you like to go next?
Oh, the bottom X.
See? And I'm getting her to participate in this, right? So now you're going here. Is this where you were talking about, Barb?
Yeah.
Awesome. So who's next? And you can just scroll through your phone and just that way you have the phone number. I'm coaching her through the process, right? All right, Barb. And I'm telling you guys, this stuff works if you do it. All right, Barb. Next name?
Tim.
Tim. Got it. And then Tim's number?
314-555-5555.
So at the whole time, just like you guys were coached and trained on the closing sheet, I'm not looking at her. Okay? I want to get her in this mode where we're going. All right, Barb, looks like we got the top left corner, and I'm taking my pen, top left corner, and then this one. So it looks like we got a tic-tac-toe. Where should we go next, Barb?
Top right corner.
Top right here?
Mhm.
Perfect. And then who's that person?
Sam.
Sam. Okay, Sam, and Sam's number 555-555. Okay, so now we're here. We got a tic-tac-toe here. Barb, where are we going next? And the whole time I'm using my pen, just like you guys are taught in training. And if she, quote unquote, makes a mistake, we want to keep her going till she gets a tic-tac-toe or fills this board up, right? Now, let me tell you guys the magic in this. The magic is not getting the names and the phone numbers and all that, because that's the easy part. Here's the magic in this. When you sit down with Tim, okay? You sit down with Tim and you go back and you call her and you say, hey, Barb, this is Corey, your Lincoln agent. How are you today? Barb's going to say, hey, I'm doing good. Go ahead, Barb.
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Hey, by the way, remember when I met with you and protected you and Chris last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I sat with Tim and he actually did. I sat with him and he actually did take out coverage. Now, just like you, I can't tell you what he took out, but he actually did protect his family. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to sit with Tim. But here's the big part. Remember I told you I had a $10 gift card even if I sat with them? When should I bring that by?
Tomorrow will work.
See how that works? And then guess what? I'm going to go get a $10 gift card. And I still haven't shown you guys the secret of this yet. I'm still going to go get a $10 gift card, but here's the cool part about this whole deal. Guess what happens? When I bring that gift card back, I bring another tic-tac-toe sheet. And when I bring that other tic-tac-toe sheet, I can either do the same thing again or leave that to them to fill out to get back. Now, sometimes you'll get those sheets back, sometimes you won't. But here's the other part. What I'll ask them here too is, what's your favorite restaurant? Or where do you go to buy stuff? So if they say Walgreens, Amazon, Walmart, that's where you get the gift card from. Does that make sense? It's an easy way to start building referrals or get referrals. And it's an easy way because people like to play games. A lot of seniors spend a lot of time on their phones playing games. They're used to it. All right. Hopefully I didn't confuse anyone. This is on the Unity Life group. This is on there. We got them you guys can print them off at the office, etc. But I'm telling you, Take this sheet and put it inside the folder that you're leaving behind with the client so you don't forget to ask. The more you do it, the more you're going to get. Ernest, what would you add to that?
I like tic-tac-toe. No, that was interesting. I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, ask for something. The fact that you said, when you build that rapport with people and they give you their social security number and their date of birth and their banking information, you have to ask. You've already built that rapport. If they didn't trust you, they wouldn't give it to you. And so when you build a good relationship with people, you can ask them to grab their phone and they'll give you phone numbers and things like that. But you have to ask. But in all honesty, when I was looking at the list with door knocks and activity, so much of this business, folks, is just about being consistent. You have to be consistent every single day, and you can't turn up one day and then the next day just kind of do whatever. Just everything you do, just be consistent at it, and before you know it, things will typically go your way. With a good attitude and perseverance and being consistent, that's the name of the game. More touches, more activity. I mean,
Absolutely.
if you're going, I saw someone that had, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if it was it Justin? How many door knocks did you have yesterday, Justin?
16.
You had 16 door knocks. How many presentations did you do?
2.
Okay. How did those go?
They went okay. One of them couldn't afford them, and then one of them couldn't afford it, and then the other one had to think about it.
Okay. And what kind of rebuttal about let me think about it, did you have?
I told him that his rates aren't going to get any cheaper. I forget how old he was, but he was pretty old, pushing 80.
Mhm.
So I was like, the number that you're not going to get a great number anywhere else. You're not going to get the $100,000 that you think you're going to get for anything
Mhm.
reasonable. But I understand he had to like talk to his family about it, talk to his kid, who was going to be managing it mainly. So I didn't know how much of a rebuttal there could be, but he liked the
Mhm.
product, so it wasn't
You
like I
like
had
the
to convince
product?
him a bunch.
So he's gonna get one of his kids to help pay for it.
I think help manage it more than pay for it. I'm pretty sure he said he was on a fixed income,
Hmm.
but he
And
just
you say
wasn't.
he was 80.
I think so. Let me look.
Yeah,
I think it might have been
premium,
79, but close.
premium probably was proper pretty was up there for sure. But yeah, in certain situations, all you can do is, you get two or three no's and you do a follow up or whatnot. But that's the kind of activity you have to get out there and get a hold of people. But it's got to be daily. And it's just like I spoke with someone yesterday and they haven't been able to get in front of someone. Well, you have to also look at what times you're going to people's houses and things like that. If you're going to the same houses between 10 and 12 and things like that, or 10 and 11, then they're still working. So you just have to swap your times up. But folks, like I said before, just continually being consistent every day with the activity, and that's when you'll see your results. But yeah, that's an interesting spin on referrals, Corey. I like that tic-tac-toe. I grew up playing that a lot.
Well, part of you got to think about the age group that we're talking to.
Yeah.
They did a lot of tic-tac-toe around that age, 50, 60, 70. Those were games that we played before a lot of the electronic games and stuff, which is why I created that, and it has worked very well. I
Great. It was creative.
Yeah, I upped mine up what I was giving a little bit, so that did help with the referrals because of the dollar amount that I was giving. But guys, as long as you stay at 25 and under, I don't maybe necessarily recommend that now for you going that high. But if you think about it, if they bought from you and you got commission from them, 15, $20, because you're only paying it out if you sit with them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if you get you in front of somebody, people buy and do business with people they know and trust. If their family member or friend trusted them to have you call them and they gave you the number, pretty good chance you're gonna have an opportunity to help them and protect their family. So I usually do 2025. That's a number that's good with the Department of Insurance. And if you're giving somebody a couple bucks, they're going to report you anyway, right? So just want to make sure everybody understands that you're staying within the confines of the insurance rules as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, before we bounce, I'm going to see if anyone again has any questions, has anything that they're running into that they haven't been able to get around. That's the main reason why we have this call, as Ernest mentioned earlier. Let me see if can help you guys out. Anything at all that you all are running into.
I don't really have a question. It's more or less a statement. Remember that lady I told you I had the bad run-in with?
Mhm.
It's funny because you say the mean ones always come around. She called me yesterday. While she called me right after I got out of that hour-and-a-half phone call, and she was like kind of hinting that she's like, you should always come knock on someone's door first instead of just showing up. And I was like, okay, well, have a good day, ma'am. I apologize for that. And then I'm probably gonna call her back in a couple days and be like, we got off on the wrong foot, whatever. Is there a good time I can come down and sit and discuss this with you?
Yep, that's what we talked about. Yeah.
I just think it's funny because she was so mean. Like, she was so mean the first time.
Yeah, I remember him calling me after. What would you do in this situation? Guys, it's human nature, myself included, even though I've been doing this a long time. We take that stuff personal. And no, they shouldn't treat us like that. And none of you guys should be disrespected. So stand up for yourselves for sure. But sometimes falling on this, just like we talked about yesterday, sometimes just falling on the sword. Ma'am, I'm sorry if you're having a bad day. That was not my intent today. That was not my intent to piss you off or to upset you. My job is just to provide you with the information that you requested and show them the lead and go right back in the script. It takes 15 to 20 minutes. Now is not a good time. How about, what's today? Wednesday? How about Friday? How about I come back by Friday? You good morning, evening, or afternoon? You guys would be surprised at how the sale I had yesterday, it wasn't complicated at all, by the way, but the sale I had yesterday, I think I was talking to you. I pulled up in front of the house. I was on the other side of the street, so they didn't know I was there for them. Got finished talking to Justin, got out of the car. The husband came outside. He didn't have a shirt on. I think he was going to the car, so I wanted to try to get him before I went in. Lady's name was Reba Cowell. I walked up to the house. I said, "Excuse me, sir. By the way, my name's Corey." I showed my badge with Lincoln Heritage, showed the folder. I said, "I think your wife or your significant other requested some information from you, and that's why I was stopping by." And he looked at the folder, and he said, "What's that?" I said, "It's final expense to make sure that I guess she might be looking for you or herself." And he was like, he looked at it again. He goes, "Hold on a second." He goes and gets her. She comes out and a big old dog. She comes out and she's like, "Who are you?" And I showed my badge again. And she was like, "Do you just stop by people's house unannounced?" I said, "All day." And she looked at me. She goes, "Okay." I said, "Reba," and I went right in the script. "My name is Corey, as I just mentioned. I'm with Lincoln Heritage. I'm the director here." I said, "The reason why I'm coming out here is because we have literally hundreds of these requests, and we need to make sure that people get them so that when they do pass, their families are taken care of. It takes 15 to 20 minutes to get you the information." I said, "You look like you're in your workout clothes." So I said, "Can I interrupt your workout for about 15, 20 minutes? She goes, "You're different," is literally what she said. "You're different. So I'll give you 10 or 15 minutes. I was there for 45 minutes. I know her kids. She's going to refer me to her sister. I know she hates her big sister because of something that they did that she promised her mom, and just all this stuff." She gave me a referral, and then which was her youngest sister that lives here in St. Louis. But I got that one referral from her. But bigger than that, I connected with her, and she sent me a text message. You guys can't see this just because you can't, but hold on one second. I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you guys see?
We see the green.
Okay. So this is what she sent me. "Hi, Corey. This is Reba. Just wanted to say thank you. You made that process very simple. It didn't even feel like I bought insurance, and I'm happy that now that her son, her son John. I'm happy now that I know John is going to be protected, and I know that all he has to do is make one phone call, and that is a huge peace of mind. Thank you for being you." That's what she sent me yesterday. So I
What a
responded.
closer. What a closer.
But I said, I just had a conversation with her, right? So she sent that text message to me. So I said, "Reba, great to meet you, and thank you. It was an honor to protect you and your family. It was awesome to connect with you yesterday. Hope you guys have a great evening. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll be reaching out to John." I didn't say the referral, but her son. "I'll be reaching out to John here in the next couple days so he knows that you've protected him." That's it. That's it. She's on disability and still got a regular bank account too, by the way. You know why? Because guess what she went to pay with?
Plastic.
Her plastic. And she was like, "Okay," so she got all the stuff. Because first she told me, just like you guys hear all the time, "I'm not paying today. Do I need money today?" And I said, "No." She goes, "Well, how do I buy it without money?" I said, "I didn't say you could buy it without money. You said, do I need money today?" So we went through the whole process. She's effective 9/3, final expense, good to go. So just remember, guys, when you get in, because I know some of us are making sales, but we're doing them with credit cards, ask, I'm telling you, a lot of people, because they're still working, they have bank accounts. Their checks have to be deposited somewhere. All right. Any questions?
No,
No,
Corey, I just wanted to
Yeah.
say,
Oh.
I just want to say, Justin, good job on your activity yesterday. And you know, some of you folks, when you because some of these objections you're hearing, some of you have never heard the objection before, and sometimes you don't know how to combat it or whatnot. But you know, you can before you walk out the house, since you're already there, you know, you can before you walk out the house, you can tell them, hey, Miss Johnson, let me call my supervisor
Yes.
before I walk out of here. I'd like to let you speak with him just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Put it back on you. Hey, I haven't been here very long. Let me reach out to my supervisor before I walk out to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And then you can reach out and uh, excuse me. And then then you can reach out and give Corey, hey Corey, just letting you know I'm sitting here with Miss Johnson. We went over this, and then Corey can kind of step in, or vice versa. You can call me or Chandra and whatnot. Not saying we're always going to be able to overturn something, but it can make a difference. It might be like something that you didn't touch on that was something so simple, because a lot of this is about repetition. You know, I can't afford it. Let me talk to my kids. Let me think about it. Is there one more? I think maybe
Just those three, yeah.
there's about those are the big threes right there. And once you learn how to combat those, and once you God knows 2 or 3 knows before you walk out the door, you know, a lot of times what else can you do? But you know, it you know,
Please call in
it,
those situations.
teamwork
I
makes
know
the
I
dream
keep
work.
saying
You can
it.
pass it on.
Please call in those situations. I will help. I promise you, I will help you close deals. I promise you. And if you're in the house and you're having a conversation with, just like I think Justin, I think you and I had this conversation yesterday. Just call. Hey, I'm going to call the field underwriter and see if there's anything we can do. I
Mhm.
think that's what I mentioned to you yesterday, Justin. Let me call the field underwriter and let me see what we can do. Because here's what I'm gonna do every single time. Because I'm a repetition person, you guys. That's how I kind of get into my discipline with some things in my life, most things in my life. When you call and you say, Ernest, let's role play. Okay, you're in the home. You're getting it. You couldn't get the deal done, which I know you would. Couldn't get the deal done. So, Ernest, you call me. So ring ring. Hey, Ernest, what's going on?
Hey, wait,
I'm
what's it
the
called?
I'm the uh I'm the manager. You're the agent.
Right, but I'm calling you.
You're calling
All
me.
right,
Yeah.
ring
So,
ring. You
hey,
say,
Ernest, what's going on?
hey Corey, how you doing, man?
Good, good, good. How can I help you?
Hey man, I'm just telling you, I'm sitting here with Miss Johnson. Hey Miss Johnson, this is Corey, my manager right here.
Hey, Miss Johnson, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, Corey. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Better now I'm talking to you. What's up, Ernest?
Well, yeah, Corey. I was calling you because me and Miss Johnson, I was going over a couple of benefit packages with her, but the problem was that she said that she really wants to plan, because when I initially sat down with her, she said she had lost some family members and they didn't have any coverage, but she's saying that she doesn't think that she can afford this plan right here. And I just, I would really feel bad walking out of here knowing I didn't get some kind of protection on her and her family. So I wanted to call you and see, is there anything you thought maybe any suggestions?
Sure. So let's take it. Miss Johnson, this will only take us a couple minutes. As Ernest mentioned, I'm the local field underwriter here, and I will help people with Ernest all day long. Ernest is one of our best, so you're lucky to have him at your home today. By the
Mhm.
way, how much coverage are we looking for? Were you looking for cremation or burial, Miss Johnson? Ernest, you got to play two roles here.
Uh, well, Mr. Corey, I was actually just wanting to get cremated.
Okay. And Ernest, what did you show her? Was it 3, 5, and 7, or what? How much coverage did you show her?
Well, Corey, I showed her 3 different benefit packages on cremation, but I showed her a 10, a 15, and a 20, because she had said she wanted to leave a little bit of money for her son.
Okay. Miss Johnson, quick question. If you had to eliminate two of those three choices, which two would you eliminate?
Well, Mr. Corey, I think I would eliminate the 15 and the $20,000, because I don't think I need that much coverage.
Okay, perfect. And I agree with you, Miss Johnson. 10,000 is plenty for a cremation. Do you have anything in place right now?
Um, no, nothing at all.
Okay, perfect. And the last question, Miss Johnson, before we get into this and I let you and Ernest get back to getting your family protected, what made you complete this form? What made you send this information back to us to make sure that your family gets protected?
Well, I saw one of your commercials on TV, and we had, you know, you know, when you get my age, you know, there's always someone dying, and I'd had a couple family members pass away, and I saw the kind of stress it put on their children, and you know, my kids, they're, you know, they're just like everyday average people, just trying to hold on to a job and things like that, and I just don't want to kind of leave that burden or bills on them. You know, I I didn't make a lot of money in my life, but the last thing I ever want to do is leave them with any kind of bills or leave them in a
Absolutely.
negative situation.
Absolutely. And then you mentioned your kids. Who's the one that's going to be the responsible one when you pass on? That's going to be kind of this gets handed this bag, unfortunately.
It's gonna be my son Rick.
Okay, Rick. Does Rick live local? Does he live in the St. Louis area?
Oh yeah, he lives with me.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, that's good. Rick's taking care of you. That's awesome, Miss Johnson. So the 10,000, and then Ernest, really quick question. What was the monthly premium on that?
The monthly premium on it was $65.
$65. Okay. So three things, Miss Johnson. The $65. If if you decided to get set up today to protect Rick, the $65, does that affect your income, your lifestyle in any way whatsoever? The refrigerator goes out, you have to get a new tire, anything like that at all? Does that $65 hinder your lifestyle in any way whatsoever?
Well, it was definitely more than I was thinking it was gonna be. I was hoping to stay around 50 or 55-ish.
Okay. So if we could find something today between that $50 and $55 range, would it make sense for you to protect Rick today to make sure you have that peace of mind so that when you pass away, Rick and your other children, they can grieve and we take care of everything? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You know, you were the ouch. Absolutely. You know, I've had people call in the house, but you know, you guys are the first company that's actually came to my house, and actually got to meet someone face to face in person. So that's actually the way I would prefer to do business.
Absolutely. And you know what's funny, Miss Johnson? A lot of times when we come to people's house, they yell at us, but we're the only ones that come by, right? So let me give you another peace of mind that I know that Ernest already covered with you before we get you set up. Ernest gets you taken care of today. Lincoln is the largest company in the entire United States that does what we do. We're A-rated carrier, right? And then, all right, Justin, is that, I think that was it? Yeah, we're A-rated
You
carrier.
sell it, man.
Yeah, A-rated carrier, and we have FCGS, which I'm sure Ernest had showed you the video and talked to you about already. So that when you pass, all Rick has to do is pick up the phone, make one phone call, and we'll take care of your family. So you mentioned $50 to $55. Ernest, can you look really quick and see how much coverage $55 would get, Miss Johnson?
Yeah, sure, Corey. Give me 1 second. Let me pull my rate book out.
All right. Ernest still does his rates with the rate book, you guys. Even though we have all this digital technology, but anyway. All right, Ernest. So it looks like you said, looks like 85.
But yeah, Corey, it looks like I originally had Miss Johnson down for that 10,000, but I believe $8,000 in coverage would put her right in her budget. And you know, Corey, actually, when we were talking, she said she didn't want any. She didn't want a traditional. She didn't want a full funeral service to go with her cremation. She kind of just wanted like a kind of like a little get together to go along with the cremation for her family, like
Miss
a
Johnson,
repast.
really smart. That's what a lot of people are doing today with cremation, and you can obviously you probably even leave a couple bucks for Rick as well once all that stuff's done. Again, which will help him with. So, Ernest, here's what we need to do next, and there's a reason why I'm saying it this way, you guys. Ernest, here's what we need to do next. I would call underwriting, right, and then have them ask the exact same questions and see if we can't get Miss Johnson qualified for that 55 a month at that $8,000 worth of coverage. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Miss Johnson, do you have any questions or anything else I can help you with today?
No, thank you. I appreciate you.
No, no problem. We appreciate you as well. Ernest, let me know if you need anything else.
All right, thanks, Corey. I'll call you back.
Absolutely. Call me. I'll do that all day long. And all I'm saying is the exact same things that you're saying, but it's giving it a third party and it's just tying it down and it helps them trust you. I'm doing the exact same thing that you guys are going to do. I'm telling you, if you're in the
I've called Corey in someone's house and the person was just I don't know. I don't want to say exceptionally difficult because I don't feel like that's a fair label. He just, everything I said was like a round robin, and some of it was so sarcastic and over the top. Like he was looking dead at me and was like, there's going to be a zombie apocalypse, and like he had these theories of conspiracy of how he was going to die and everything, and I just kept spinning them back and just saying the same thing back to him that was just as like, well, if there's a zombie apocalypse, you might still need a payout. You never know. You can raid the stores, but you might have to buy something. And you know, just like I was just kind of, and he would laugh, right? Because he was like, I'm just joking. But then my point is just I called Corey because we weren't getting anywhere, and Corey said the exact same thing. You're with Katie, she's one of our best. And then he just went into this whole thing, and I'm sure she's shown you this, and I'm sure she went over that, and it was just like this presentation that he did. So not that anybody thought you were lying, Corey, but I just wanted to say that I've sat in that seat where you have had my back out of the gate, especially in a situation where it was over the top. The situation I was in was over the top, but you know, you did help, and you put some anchor points in that I didn't know. Like I did not know at the time he could leave his money to the cemetery.
Church. Yep. You can leave it to wherever
So
you want. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I did not know that.
See that, right.
Well,
So I was,
that's in the rate book.
But Missouri is one of those places you can do that for sure. So thank you for
yeah.
saying that, Katie. And
Can I
literally, that's exactly what I'm going to do if you call. So if they tell you no, just what do you have to lose? And the chance of getting back in that home is probably 25% or less. So just swing for the fences. I've closed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of policies. Like it's to me, it's not that hard, right? If I get in the door, I have a really good chance of closing it, or I'm going to escape there as quick as I possibly can and try to get a referral or two.
So
That's
I
the
have
game.
another question, if that's
Yes.
okay. It's
No,
kind
no,
of,
go ahead.
once you close that deal and you tell them, okay, I'm going to ship the policy is going to be here in 7 to 10 days. And 2 weeks later, my policy still has not arrived. And I never got a confirmation email that it was coming in the mail. And I did talk to another agent on the team, and they told me, oh no, it should be here any day. And I just had a weird feeling. And sure enough, I went into an appointment with somebody, and I came out and I had a text from that person on my phone from where, and she was like, hey, where's my policy? I haven't heard from you. It hasn't been delivered. And I texted her right back, and I said, I'm going to call home office. I've already talked to one of my teammates. They told me the process. I'm very sorry. And then I called home office and everything. But can you walk through what we should anticipate as new agents selling? Because
I
I did
will.
not know that the email would have
Pause you
come.
let me pause you for 1 second. I have never, the time I've been here, had one policy that was not shipped out in 2 weeks. Now, let me ask you a question. When was the policy effective? It's not the day that you're at the home. It's the day that the policy goes effective. It's 7 to 10 business days after that.
Well, I thought that
There are
they were covered day one. I wrote the policy
Hold on, hear me out.
8/4.
You wrote
So
the-
can you explain?
Yes. So you write a policy today, okay? But it's effective 10 days from now for whatever reason.
Okay.
So it's effective on August 30th. Yeah.
I wrote the policy on August 4th, and I thought that it would
Effective
go
August
into
4th.
yeah, she paid August 4th, and it was effective August 4th.
Okay. Then she should have gotten the policy 7 to 10 business days after that. So here's the deal. Don't alert the client, and I'm not telling you did anything wrong. Here's what I would have said to him. I apologize, you haven't gotten your information. It comes in a gigantic 8.5 by 11 folder. So I don't know how, but some people do miss it. So you're sure you haven't received it? Awesome. Okay. All I have to do, Ms. Johnson, is I can pick up the phone. I'm going to call home office. We'll get you another one reordered. That's it. They'll send it out there. I literally have not had anyone in the time that I've been here not receive their policy in 7 to 10 days, business days.
No,
So
I just mean like, can you tell us what to expect? Because when I reached out to just a coworker that was just talking to me, they said, that I should have received an email stating that it was going to be shipped. So
you do
you're
get
gonna
an
get
email.
you're gonna get an email from underwriting saying policy release issue.
Release issue. Yeah.
And then from that point, I would probably say I usually would say maybe 10 to 14 days just to be safe, because you also have to think about, like Corey was saying, when was it coming out of underwriting? Because sometimes, we get a verification, it goes to underwriting. They might request like additional documentation. They might request a disclosure form from the doctor or something like that, because some medicine came up or things like that. But, I understand people have a tendency to always want to call their fellow agents about certain things, but mean, in that situation, it's much easier to either put the person on three-way or just call underwriting directly or policy services and say, "Hey, this is the person's name. Where's the policy?" And they'll give you.
Yeah, I didn't call another agent. That I was just happened to be talking and I mentioned it and
It's
then I
fine.
got some extra information. But no, I just when I just thought it was funny that I thought of her and I wondered where her
Yeah.
policy was.
Nikki
And
called
she
you.
texted me that day, like we were in sync. And then I, of course, reached out to let her know in case I couldn't get through. I did call home office. They told me that it did not ship until the 12th. And if I didn't have it by Friday, they would send me a new one. And I asked if they would overnight it because that was important for this woman to get her policy. She was very concerned about it. And they said, absolutely no problem. Let them know. And he, gave me his name and told me how to contact him directly. So, sometimes in those kind of situations, they remember you. So I just was wondering,
Absolutely.
I appreciate you
You-
guys just filling in the blanks because I know as a new agent myself, I didn't know what to anticipate as far as getting that policy to my house and then get back to my customer. So I just wanted to see how that process worked. So thank
Well,
you.
Katie, that's great. You can also call home office. You can have your business address switched over to the office address, and you can have the policies mailed to you, and they'll come to the home. They'll come to the office in Maryland Heights, and you can hand deliver them yourself too. And that always helps as far as getting referrals and things like that too. Especially, there's always going to be those certain customers that you build like a really strong relationship with. Like obviously, it sounds like this person right here. So those are always fun to keep those relationships going and hand deliver those policies, especially like a lot of times if I had like an older senior who was kind of by themselves and things like that, I would want to hand deliver the policy and I might call and be like, like what kind of chicken you would like and stuff like that and hand deliver it. I mean, I had a lady in St. Louis that I had built a relationship with and called me here in Memphis and wanted to give me her credit card information on her phone because she wanted me to DoorDash her some KFC chicken. I mean, just you just build look bars laugh. You build so many relationships. I mean, I knew it in St. Louis that the family who knew I was from out of town who said, "Hey, come over for dinner tomorrow," and then it was like, we used to have snooks here. We don't have snooks here anymore, and it was like they were like, "Hey, we're gonna get some fish fried from Snooks," and I was like, "Snooks will fry fish for you?" He's like, "Yeah, they'll fry it for you. Walk around and shop." But and we sat down and had a wonderful dinner together. But I also remember when his wife died and I had to go back over there and sit at the table and like, all this aggression from his daughters. So that like, it really truly becomes a circle of life. I mean, I tell people all the time, this is not just a job. This is a career. And you're gonna see people at their best and sometimes at their worst. And but that's life. It's life.
So,
Mr.
But yeah,
Corey, I have a question, sir.
yes.
So I have someone, I think we went with them. I went with you during training to this home, and she said it was one of the ladies I was looking for. Her name is actually Barbara, but um I was like, hi, I did went through my thing at the door, and then she was like, "Oh, I don't know, Miss Barbara, I don't know where she's at." And I was like, "Is there any time where she, maybe home?" And then she said, no, she doesn't know anything about her, or something like that. So would you recommend, because her phone number's on the lead, would you
Call home
recommend that I
office.
give her a call or
Yeah.
call home office? Okay.
Well, if you call the number, have you called the number yet?
No, I was just asking. I'm going to give her a call today.
Yeah.
So,
Just
okay.
call and try to set up an appointment and try to verify her address. If the number
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
work, then you can call home office
Okay.
and ask them, if they have any additional numbers for her.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Katie, back to your thing before we close out and go over, get you guys goals for today. Um, the 4th was a Monday. Today's the 20th. So if you want, just so you have something regimented, if you want to say 10 to 14 business days, that would give you more time because if it was written on the 4th, submitted and issued on the 4th, I think today is what? Today would be what, 11, 12 days, business days? So we're just, even if you got the phone call Monday, we were just right at that 7 to 10 business days anyway. So if you feel more comfortable saying 7 to 10 or 7 to 14 days or whatever, maybe that helps. But yeah, I'm glad you're able to call home office, get that taken care of too. All right. Any other questions? Anything else you all running into? All right, let's get this party started. So let's see. Oh, Chance is gone. I don't know what happened with her. All right, Gavin, what are you shooting for today, my man?
101.
I love it. Jeff,
1-on-1.
All right. Barb?
1 for 1.
All right. Let's see. Justin's gone. Let's see. Michelle?
1 for 1, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Katie?
Sorry, I was having connection problems. I want to do 2, please. 2 for 2.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you. And then Tommy?
Uno por uno.
All right. Gracias, senor. All right.
De nada.
All right. Thank you guys so much for your time and your input. Like we talked about, iron sharpens iron. Looking forward to all that can attend on Friday at the boot camp. If you guys need me for anything, let me know. Tomorrow, obviously, will be the MG meeting. Ernest, anything you'd like to say before we close out?
Hey, folks, like I said, be consistent, keep your heads up, have a great attitude, and just go out there and focus on helping someone. If you do that, everything else will fall in place. But good meeting.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks,
You
Ernest.
too, Katie. You can make it. You got it.
Absolutely. Bye, guys.
Bye.